The readings for this weekend focus rather on the law of God, and what that might mean. We begin with the book of Deuteronomy, with Moses putting the law that God has given before the people. This is the law that they are to follow if they are going to be the people of God. And the psalm tells us what that law might look like. What are going to be the important things? The important things, the first verse of the psalm tells us, is to act justly and speak the truth from the heart. Something to do with the heart. Something to do with the way we act. And then the second reading is the beginning of the letter of St James, and that ends with saying that what's important in following the will of God, following God's law, is care for the widow and the orphan. And then the gospel starts with a discussion between Jesus and the Pharisees, because the Pharisees are complaining that Jesus' disciples are eating without first washing. And the gospel explains to us that the Pharisees have all sorts of traditions about ritual washing before eating, not just themselves, but the utensils as well. And Jesus objects to their focusing on the minor things, the little rules that have built up over time, rather than what's at the core of the law. And he explains then to his disciples what that core of the law is about. And it reflects a debate within that early church about, well, how far were the early Christians supposed to follow the Jewish law and follow those Jewish traditions? And did they have to follow the dietary laws? And so Jesus says, no, it's not what goes into somebody that makes them unclean. It's what's in the heart. It's what's come out. It's how they behave and how they act. And that's the message for us. If we are to follow God, if we are to follow Christ, then what's really important are not kind of minor rules and rituals. What's important is how we relate to each other, how we behave, whether we really do act justly. I'd like to take a moment, as this is my last video before I go to my new job in Preston, to wish all the best to all of those of you who have been watching these videos and give you my prayers and best wishes.